Okay, hello guys, this is another video, and I was asked from one of my friends how to correctly set up your landing speed and how to correctly set up your back during your landing. What is our landing speed? Our landing speed, we can say it generally, this is our landing speed, but it's our stalled speed multiplied by some factor, and we have the Vreff. The Vreff is depicted here on approach reference page, and it's related to our gross weight. So in our case we use flaps 30, so we put Vreff for flaps 30, which is 140, and apply the formula you see on the picture above. Why we are applying this formula? Because if we have strong headwind component, we will be slow on the approach, because our indicated airspeed will be high, but our ground speed will be much slower, and we would like to avoid this situation. Regarding to tailwind component, we are applying maximum of 5 knots just to have some margin for our landing if our speed suddenly drops for whatever reason, wind shear or downdraft or whatever. So in our case we have headwind of 30 knots. That means that the half pass of headwind component will be 15. So we put correction 15 right over here, like this. And now we are going for flaps 30. So we have flaps 30 and we should have 155, so this will be our approach speed. Okay, and if you have gust conditions, or let's say the wind is more, the additive is more than 20 knots, we are not applying additive more, so it's up to 20 knots. Some companies have up to 15 knots, I guess so. So if you can see right now, this will be our approach speed, and this is our Vreff. That means that this is our reference speed for our actual gross weight, and this is computing by the FMC, and as you can see we have a margin from our stall speed. If we have zero wind conditions, we applied just Vreff additive plus 5, so that means that we have 145. Okay, but in our case we have 30 knots, so we applied 15, so we put 15 here, and on speed back Vreff plus 15 is 155. Okay, and if we can see on the chart, our ground speed is 124, 125, it's up to 130. And as you can see, especially when you are performing non-precision approaches, your ground speed, your vertical rate of descent according to your glide path or glide slope, if you are using ILS approach, should match this condition. So in our case, if we are doing ground speed approximately 130 knots, we should have approximately 700 feet. As you can see here, yes, we have it. So I think it was clear so far, and why we are doing this procedure, I will explain it in another part. Let's jump into that part. Okay guys, so I hope it was clear so far. Now we are performing the RMP approach, and I will start the decelerate the airplane, will configure it, And now we have zero wind condition. That means that we do not apply our formula, and we keep the wind correction like 5 knots. Okay, watch what we now do for us if we are performing the RMP approach. So we select the flap 30 like here, and that's it. We have zero wind, so VNAV works for us and put the speed box exactly with Vreff 137 plus 5 knots. Okay, so in this case I would like to start the turn. We can put gear down, flaps 15, arm the speed brakes. Okay, that's fine. We have altitude hold, we can go down to 800 approximately. And we can put this first waypoint here and L now, because RMP approach should be always flown by L now VNAV. I try to select the VNAV. Okay, we have FNC speed VNAV path, or what we have. Pre-select the approach heading, which is basically okay. And yeah, we may pre-select the go around altitude, because approach logic allows us to do so. But anyway, we have VNAV altitude because we are in front of the final approach fix anyway. That doesn't really matter. Okay, but we may start descent, and as we start the descent, the VNAV path should be always there. It's not there. Okay, once again. Now go for VNAV. We have still VNAV altitude, so we need to go down with vertical speed VNAV, and now we have VNAV path. That's fine. He should start descending, and we put flap 30. And anyway, okay, now you can see that the FMC will keep the speed 137. Now we have 136 to be precise, with correction plus 5, even if we don't have the headwind component. So he is keeping Vreff, which is related to our still air conditions, and approach speed, which is related to our ground speed. Okay, so if we put wind correction plus 5 knots directly here, so we put it like this, slash 141. Okay, what happens? He automatically adjusts the Vreff, because he thinks that for our gross weight this will be our Vreff, and adjust the wind correction plus 5 knots. So we are flying faster than we would like to be. So in order to revert the situation, we put once again 136, and he will decelerate. If we have headwind of 20 knots, we can just simply put the half of the headwind here, like now, and now boom, you have your approach speed. So this is the way how to establish your approach speed. I hope it was clear enough and you liked the video. That's all.